Sarah, and for this video, this is my last video on zodiac signs. We've been through the entire, all houses 1 through 11, and so now I'm at the 12th. And for this video, I'll be talking about the 12th house, the sign of Pisces, and the planet Neptune. So the 12th house is the end. It's the end of the zodiac. It's the end of the, the 12 houses. It's the 12th. It's the end. So, but it's a very interesting house in that it's really stuck in between the house of friendship and humanitarian aims and back to the first house, which was all about the self and all about expressing the self. It's the ascendant. It's how we are perceived, how we appear on the outside, like our masks that we wear, or the windows to ourselves. So the 12th house is very strange because it's really in a very odd spot between going completely for others to completely for the self. So it's very much two polar opposites. And from the first house, the ego or the self of the individual has been struggling to find its own identity and be its own entity. And then, it gets to the 11th house of friendship and, learning about helping others. And, it's only to find after all of that, in this last step, that we are all actually one unit. So that whole quest for individuality in our own self was quite futile. But it's also the last step into greater consciousness. And this realization can be viewed either positively or negatively, which is why the 12th house can be rather complicated to explain. The idea that the universe is connected and there is no real room for individuality can be a comforting thought, in that in some ways, nothing matters and there is no reality. So in that way, we know that we are safe, so we'll always be one. So it will always exist. But this is also a really frightening notion to some, because we can see how the struggles we went through in houses 1 through 11. Like I said, were futile. They really are just to learn that everything is one. And since it is, this is a cycle. An individual will have to overcome them again in some way or another. And that's just how life is, c'est la vie. It's all a cycle, and it's just part of growing and I think just becoming human and just being one with the universe. The etymology of the word universe is to turn as one. And that's, I think, what the 12 houses are all, it's kind of illustrating that in the way, the emotions that we go through as humans and the stages we go through in life. And since this house marks the end, or the 12th of the 12 houses, it's also about death. This house concerns itself, death and sorrow and self-undoing and sickness. And that in mind, this house can also concern itself with life after death, the paranormal, and spirituality in general. And many people with interest in the paranormal, or who have experiences with ghosts and other things of this nature, will tend to have many strong placements in the 12th house. And also, this house is concerned with other types of mysticism and dreams. As it is, it's the highest state of consciousness. Matters that could be deemed, otherworldly or kind of out of this world fall into this category. So it's all of the 12th house. And as one can probably deduce, this is not the most optimistic of houses. Feelings of impending doom and end can plague some of those who have many planets positioned in this house. And much of those with strong placements in the zodiac sign closely related to this house, Pisces. Now, Pisces is, like the 12th house, the very end of the zodiac, and it's a mutable feminine water sign. And the definition for Pisces, and it goes with kind of the nature of the 12th house and, spirituality and everything, is I believe. So the definition of Pisces is I believe. And the symbolism for this sign is represented by a fish, or by fish. And the word Pisces is Latin for fish. So that's, how Pisces goes. And fish, it shows the kind of, it is a water sign, so fish kind of show the underlying current and emotional undertow, underwater. And the glyph for Pisces also symbolizes two fish tied together, but these fish are swimming away from each other, which sort of symbolizes the nature of Pisces in the 12th house. And in anatomy, this glyph represents the human feet, which is part of the body that Pisces rules over. And for this sign, the color is a red, violet, or magenta, and its music note is B. And those with strong placements in this zodiac sign, when we think of, Pisces, I think they're kind of dreamy, their heads are in the clouds, but they're also very deeply compassionate individuals, very empathic and keenly intuitive. Some people think of them as psychic. They think, they sense things. But the other side of that is that a lot of other people consider them, or sometimes they can be considered scatterbrained or just overly sensitive, impractical and overindulgent. Problems dealing, and they just have problems dealing with reality in general. And like I mentioned before, with the 12th house and self-undoing and downfall, those with strong Pisces placements can also tend to be the cause of their own demise through their own pessimisms and tendencies to just run away from the harshness of life, because they're very sensitive people, so they feel things deeply. And not being able to deal with realities, likens this sign to the illusions and mystic nature of its ruler, Neptune. Now, Neptune was named for the Roman god of the sea, which included both fresh water and salt water, as well as horses. And Neptune's equivalent in Greek mythology was Poseidon. And the glyph of Neptune is supposed to represent the trident that was carried by this particular god. And like the 12th house in Pisces, Neptune rules over that of the hidden, sickness, illusions, deception, sorrow, and self-undoing. But just like the 12th house in Pisces, Neptune considers itself also with creativity and compassion and idealism, much like that of Pisces. And this planet, though, it takes about 165 years to travel, to make a complete cycle through the signs. So it is safe to say that this is one of the slow-moving planets. And with that in mind, Neptune placed in a particular sign in one's chart is more to describe a whole generation and how that generation deals with the harsh realities of the world. And when you have Neptune, an aspect with other planets, it will usually bring out kind of the hidden or creative parts of those planets. Neptune's kind of dreamy, and it's some schools of astrology believe that Neptune is the most feminine of all planets. So it's like the true feminine, the essence of femininity. But Neptune is it's more where Neptune is, an aspect with other planets and the house that it lies in. Usually, where Neptune, really strongly gets its energy. That'll be all for this video. And for my next video, I will be finishing off with the asteroids Chiron, Ceres, and Pallas Athena. So thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe.